Howdy.
Welcome to the 2023-2024 NFL fantasy football season. The weekly talk show, new for the league. Jack, tell us a little bit more about what we got going on here.
Today we got a little something for you guys. We got our fantasy football weekly show. We'll be going through the week, the matchups, the scoreboard, the shit talk, the Scott Duncan trade proposals. We'll be doing our QB tier list, some FanDuel locks of the week, and a preview for what's to come in week 3.
All important stuff. This is, I think you guys, even though no one knew this was coming, I think everyone's been waiting for this for a long time. So,
Yeah, dude, we miss your weekly statements.
I mean, well, it's funny. Scott actually reached out to me today. He's like, "Hey, you should keep doing your statements, your updates on the league." I'm like, "Well, funny you say that. We got something in the works." So
Sure.
this, I think this will be that out. Yeah, dude, let's get right into it. I'm gonna share my screen here. We got
Fucking go.
oh man, I can't.
Do I have to
What?
give you permission?
No, I gotta give myself. Oh, bang.
Bang.
Can we see this?
Yeah.
That. Well, let's look over to the box scores here. So, Jack, what surprised you from this week? I think there are a lot of things that we did not expect.
Yeah. There were certainly some surprises. A lot of quarterback play didn't go as we expected. Mueller putting up 75 points. That's low. I think his team's pretty loaded.
I mean, yeah, that really shocked me. He's got a lot of dogs on the team. Um, Tyreek Hill putting up an average performance against the New England Patriots. AJ Brown not coming in clutch. Looks like Devontae Smith is going to get more work
Yeah, he's
down
looking
in
like wide
Philly.
receiver 1 so far. He's got all the touchdowns on the year. He's got the majority of the target share. He seems a little unhappy in Philadelphia, dude.
That's interesting. I think Nabil has Devontae Smith, so it's the
Yeah,
only
he
good
does.
player he has. So good on him.
That's true.
But dude, Tyler just
That leading
I
scorer this week, team went absolutely fucking berserk.
I mean I thought I had any sort of a chance going into the game, down 0-1. I felt like I needed a win, but Brian Robinson with almost 30 points, Christian McCaffrey doing his thing on the field, TJ Hawkinson,
Yeah, tight
maybe
end
one of
one,
the
man. Skull Vikings, even though the Vikings are dog shit, he's putting up good numbers.
I listen, man, it's not the teams that matter, it's the players. So
True. Yeah, you kind of got screwed. 123 is not a bad performance, but you're not beating 160.
no, you can't compete with that. But
Yes, sir. We got a close one there at the bottom. Let's take a look at that box score.
oh wow. Yeah, what do we got here?
Woo!
Daniel Jones putting up 30 points. Who would have thought that, huh? What
Yeah,
about that
right.
comeback?
Oh, unreal game. Cardinals are trying to lose. It's the only explanation.
Those Caleb Williams scouts,
Yeah,
they're
dude.
tanking already.
Oh God. Yeah, poor. Let's do a quick prayer for Nick Chubb. Rest in peace, the legend. If anybody saw that injury, I'm sure you all did. That was not pretty.
I got a couple pictures sent from in some group chats of just, nothing I want to see a second time. That looks really bad.
Yeah, that one. That was nauseating to say the least.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Perone almost had this game, but
Yeah, Soup pulling out a
came up short.
narrow victory.
Suit with, I would argue, one of the best teams before the Nick Chubb injury. I would say we kind of thought that like this, this team could be special.
Yeah.
especially with Kamara coming off suspension in a couple weeks. But with Nick Chubb out, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, he maybe should respond to my trade request. I think he could use a running back from me, perhaps.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, speaking of trade requests, should we hop into that?
Let's get into the Scott Duncan recap of the week.
This is the most important segment of the show. So I've compiled a short list, and this is nowhere near full. A short list of the trade proposals Scott has sent to members around the league. Um, First off, so we should let's grade these one by one. If we were in this position, Nate, would we trade these players for Javonte Williams and Puka Nacua? So first off, for Nabil, we got Austin Eckler. Are you making that trade?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with no. I get Eckler is injured. There's some risk there, but I'm not trading the second overall pick is where Nabil took Eckler for a waiver wire and a fringe flex option in Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. That's just, you know, a little disrespectful sending that one over, in my opinion.
Mhm. We got another one here from Bridge, the same package, Puka and Javonte for Justin Jefferson. What do you think there, Huddy?
So I think it's actually Keenan Allen and Puka
Oh, well,
for
that's a
JJ.
little better. That's better. Still,
Yeah, that's an interesting one, but so here's the thing is I wanted to make this game a little harder for everyone. So I actually got rid of one of the bench spots. I don't know if anyone noticed that.
can't say I did.
Damn. So between like the last two seasons and this season, I got rid of one of the bench spots. So I think it's only like six now instead of seven.
Huh.
Which like makes it harder because like I don't think you have enough room on your rosters anymore for like a backup quarterback or a backup defense. Like you got to stack it with the positions you need. So anyway, like if you're going 2-for-1 trades or 3-for-2, like I just feel like you're getting rid of someone valuable by doing that offset. So I don't anyway. Um
Interesting twist, Commissioner.
According to everyone else, I've had a lot of interesting choices. But listen, man, have fun with it. Um, so believe it or not, Scott and I have been in trade talks for a few days now. He sent me over this proposal: James Conner and Brandon Ayuk for Javonte and Puka, which I I wasn't buying that. We settled on Brandon Ayuk and Charbonnet for Javonte Williams and Puka, and he said he'd consider it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna go through.
Yeah, the kid's horny to have a 49er on his roster, so I'm sure
That's
that's
how I'm gonna get him,
not
dude.
a terrible deal on your end, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Scott, I'd say like first lesson, if you want to like trade away a player, don't look so desperate. It looks like you really want to get rid of that guy. So I just don't know if that's gonna work out for you there. Hey guys, I didn't notice that. That's
All right, so
nice.
here we go. Here's the QB tier list. We'll break it down. We'll go tier by tier. Starting with the dogs. What do we think about the dogs?
I listen, I mean, that's a lot of dogs up there. We had Tua, I don't know if he's dogging, but like he threw for 466 in the first week, so that's he's a dog. We got David Fink. I would say new to the league. Don't really know what team he's on right now. Maybe a free agent, but yeah, I mean just certified dogs. There's nothing else to
Absolute
say,
dog.
honestly.
Led the Chi-Fi intramural squad to an undefeated season last year. I know this can't be the end of his career so early, Only 22.
I forgot that he spent a year in the Patriot League.
Yeah.
Just honing his skills, honestly, just like tearing up the field.
Yep. right, next we got the good sometimes tier, spearheaded by Danny Dimes himself. Daniel Jones. He's so ass, but then has a half of football where he looks like John Elway mixed with Barry Sanders, and he's unbelievable. He had 30 points this week, led whoever it was to a win. He's just so 50. A lot of these other guys, Anthony Richardson started off strong, went down with an unfortunate injury. I think the kid might be an okay quarterback, but has definitely a bright future in fantasy.
Oh yeah. I think Richardson's gonna turn to sort of a Justin Fields where, you draft him for the rushing upside and that's where you land him.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones, like his career path is reminding me of Garoppolo. I'm not saying they're anything alike, but like I think Garoppolo throughout his career has played just well enough to stick around. Like he has just enough good games where like the team's like, all right, like we won't kick you off yet. And that's what he did in San Francisco for like 5 years. Um, so yeah, it's a boomer. That's a boomer bust here right there.
Yeah, yeah. Next, the okay, I guess here. Got a lot of guys here. Joe Burrow, an unexpected one. What are we thinking there, Huddy?
I mean, who saw this coming from the Bengals?
Yeah, right.
Who has Burrow? I think it's Scott.
I'm not quite sure, but whoever it is probably has not won both games this season. The Bengals just look abysmal on offense.
I mean, I think he was getting drafted like third or fourth round in the draft. It is Scott Duncan who has Joe Burrow, and that's
Oh.
just like that sucks.
He was a consensus top four quarterback getting drafted, top five maybe, and he's averaging like a clean, what, 6 points or something like that.
Nothing good, dude.
Yeah. A couple new additions to this tier. Moving down was Mac Jones, who, funny enough, was QB2 in week one. Hard to believe, right? And a couple up movers. We got Stroud after a big game, a lot of passing attempts, and Joshua Dobbs after almost beating the Giants until coach said, pump the brakes. We want Caleb Williams.
You think that was the play call on the sideline? Is like, all right,
Oh,
you're gonna hand it off to James Conner and don't do anything else.
100%. Did they cut Colt McCoy, who's like a serviceable backup, simply so they could get that kid? And then who knows where Kyler Murray's going to end up.
Yeah, I mean, you got Sam Howell in that tier. Who would have thought Commanders 2-0?
Yeah, right.
Just
Big shocker.
yeah, it's good.
There's a lot of teams that have been surprising. The Falcons, Buccaneers, both 2-0. Saints, even. I guess those teams all are pretty shitty on paper, but can't argue with the records.
No, you can wins or wins. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
where you get them. Moving down to the Kirk Cousins tier. Jack, your
Shout out
hometown guy.
to shout out to Barstool for this one. I couldn't make a QB tier list without highlighting the boy Kirk Cousins, my goat. Real talk though, Kirk fucking sucks. He may have had an insane fantasy week because he's the king of stat padding against an Eagles defense who didn't give a fuck and had three starters injured. He threw for 350 and three or four touchdowns. The guy was immaculate, but the Vikings are 0-2. So, luckily we're in a pretty poverty division where our season would already be over, which it may be if we lose to the Chargers next week. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, a bunch of Kirk clones, Carr, Tannehill, Garoppolo, all just extremely average quarterbacks. Gardner Minshew sneaking in here after coming in for Richardson in the second half. Jordan Love dropped down after a big week one after he lost to Atlanta, whose quarterback is featured in the dog shit tier, which is next.
I like say the Kirk Cousins tier is just like the white dude tier. It's just like the white dude quarterback, like backup guy halfway through their like when they're older. That's it.
Standard as
Except for
possible.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Big,
coming out
big
of the
catch,
woodwork.
Boston, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
so some
dog shit
dog
team.
shit. Yeah, we got some younger guys here. We got Bryce Young, the rookie, who looks like he's way too short to be playing football right now. We got Justin Fields, who's a glorified running back. Pickett, who's actually shit. And Desmond Ritter, who might even be worse.
I mean, with these guys, like, you're drafting them in like dynasty leagues, and it's like you have no idea what these quarterbacks are going to turn into. Like, if I never hear of Desmond Ritter again in my life, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Nope.
Or he could be the starter in Atlanta for the next 6 years. Like, you don't know with any of these guys like what their careers are going to turn out like.
Truth. The guy is yet to lose a home game. Just pretty crazy given how bad he is and how bad the team is. God, their roster's terrible.
What, Ritter
Yeah.
hasn't lost a home? That's no
In a
way.
game that he started, yeah, because I mean, he didn't play all last year. They had Marcus Mariota starting for half the year, but yeah. Next, we got the Sex Fenders, led by Colin Watson, featuring Julio Urias and Kevin Porter Jr. It's a great time in the world of sports. Am I right?
Uh, Nothing like being a sports fan. Yeah, that's
We got not playing quarterback. We got Rodgers. We got Boo, who maybe should be playing quarterback soon. New York Jets? Question mark.
you never know.
Yeah. We got Taysom Hill, tight end. He's finally just playing tight end this year. And the short king, Kyler Murray.
The Call of Duty legend. It's got to be
Yo,
tearing it up these days. I
dude,
mean,
he's got to be prestige by now.
so what's his timetable? I mean, I haven't been keeping track of it. Like, when's he coming back?
I feel like he's fine or should be fine soon, but I don't think they're rushing him simply to lose more games. If he doesn't get dealt at the deadline, they'll probably just figure out something in the offseason for him. But who they're tanking his value by not playing the guy. It's already pretty
I,
low.
I don't know where he'd end up,
Yeah.
honestly.
And then the should not be playing quarterback tier is Zach Wilson. Absolute bottom, the scum of the earth. Those poor New York Jets fans. Ugh.
Sorry, Jets fans. You're back to the guy that has been losing you football for the last 2 seasons. I think we should get a tier of should be playing quarterback for the New York Jets, not including Zach Wilson. I think you have throw Tom Brady in there.
Yep.
Why not?
Kaepernick.
Bring the goat back. Kaepernick, Andrew Luck.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've been hearing Jets fans calling for like the craziest names. They're like Andrew Luck come out of retirement. They're
Philip
calling for
Rivers
Jameis.
with his
Philip
two
Rivers.
kids. Throw him in there.
Throw one of his kids in there. He might be do better than Zach Wilson.
It's true. Can't be much worse. Yeah, that's what we got for the QBs this week. Now, Huddy, hit us with the locks.
All right. So couple locks going into this weekend. We got Lions -3 at home versus Atlanta. They're looking to bounce back from a Seahawks loss they should not have taken. I like that. I like that line a lot. Eagles -5.5 at Tampa Bay. Um, yeah, they should be healthier this week, so I like them by over a touchdown. Bengals -2.5 at home versus the LA Rams. Interesting. If
Yeah,
they're
I'm
in
thinking the Bengals
Cincinnati,
are. I think the Bengals are pissed off. They're at home. They're playing in Ohio, a great state. I guess we'll really find out if the Rams are for real this year. I don't know. They look a lot better than they did last year, even with guys like Puka and Tutu Atwell leading the receiving core.
I mean, listen, they put up 30 points against like a 49ers defense, which is probably the best in the league. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be close. But we'll take the Bengals there. And then over Chargers at Vikings. Jack, do we have the over?
Yeah, I forgot to actually put the number in there. The line set at 53.5, which I think the over will hit. The Vikings defense is really bad, and the Chargers defense is worse this year. I saw this stat at the gym today. The Chargers are allowing 6.7 yards per play on average this season, which is the worst in the NFL. They have the 31st net defensive rating in the league. 7 yards per play is absurd.
That's insane. That's almost a first down every time.
Yeah. And the Vikings put up points, Chargers put up points. This is going to be a shootout. I think the over cashes in here.
Damn, I like those. Put them in. Put them all in a parlay. Just, make money this weekend on us.
Yeah, that's all we got. I don't have a closing slide, but
That's it. Well, let's end with some waiver wire pickups, shall we? Maybe the
oh
last little
yes,
segment here.
sure thing.
Let's go back here. Let's see. Where do I go? Let's add some players. So free agents. This is a weird list. Go to running backs. So J.K. Dobbins. There we go.
Rest in peace,
Um,
Dobbins, my guy.
that's tough injury. I think Murray has the top waiver wire pick this week, followed by me at 2. So obviously Jerome Ford, I think is the name everyone's looking at right now to get picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 24 points last week, filling in for Chubb after the first quarter and a half. Um, yeah, he seemed like kind of a dog in an offense that relies heavily on their running back. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jerome's first guy off the board this week. Murray, that's for you, man.
I mean, I'm really hoping he's not the first guy off the board. I hope Murray, for whatever reason, doesn't do that and gives me him. But
Yeah, there's some other
um,
decent options still. Matt Breida available in case Saquon is ruled out. He's still listed as, even though they said initially 3 weeks. Coach Dable said that he is a game time decision for Thursday night football versus the Cardinals this week. So if he's a no-go, Matt Breida is certainly an option to pick up.
I like that. I like that. I'm also looking at Gus Edwards. Don't know how the time's gonna get split between him and Justice Hill for the Ravens backfield, but I think Edwards got a couple touchdowns the last couple weeks, so
Yeah, he had one touchdown last week on 62 yards, which helps. Um, I don't know. Yeah, we can go to some receivers. There's a few solid guys here. Robert Woods is the first on my list here. Um, we're
really.
all pretty skeptical about taking Texans as we should be because that team's so bad. But Woods and Tank Dell, both averaging over double digits, could be a viable option in the flex.
That's a good point. I'm looking at, what's funny to me is we consider the Chiefs as one of the top offenses in the league, but I'm looking at 3 Chiefs receivers at the top of the waiver wire right here. And so like I think in a couple weeks we'll see who Mahomes is throwing to more often this season. So maybe you're picking up Sky Moore. Maybe it's Rashee Rice, the rookie. Maybe it's Valdez Scaling.
Yeah.
But like, who knows?
Yeah, no, that offense is pretty unpredictable other than Mahomes and Kelsey. I guess they kind of thought they could just rock it with no receivers this year, but they're all pretty garbage. Tony had a good week this week, but he's definitely one of the most frustrating players in fantasy football past couple of years.
Yeah, no one knows what to expect week in, week out.
Hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
that wraps it up for the waiver wire. Looking at the scoreboard for week 3, a little preview. We got me versus Tyler, both 2-0 teams leading the league in points scored. Both of us, only one team will emerge 3-0. We got Nabil looking for his first win against Scott. Unlikely to happen. Nabil's team very banged up right now. No Eckler, no Deontay Johnson. We got Mueller versus 2-0 Ollie. Mueller favored to win right now, but ETN questionable. We got Perone versus Schubert. Shuby favorite at the moment. Perone looking for his first win without Saquon Barkley, most likely. And then we got Suit versus Murray, a 2-0 versus an 0-2. But Murray actually favored given the state of Suit's team right now. And Huddy looking for his first win against the big booty Latinas. Unfortunately for you, Bridge has the highest projection this week, coming in at 130. We'll see how that pans out.
You're kidding me.
130.
Jesus.
A lot of variability
Doesn't
on this roster, though.
you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm taking those big blue Latinas. I'm doing whatever I want to them on that field, all four
Yeah,
quarters.
wouldn't you
Bridge,
like
I'm coming for you. I need a win, dude. I if I dropped 0-3, I mean, Jesus, that's the season right there.
Yeah, it's not what you like to see.